You're listening to High Frequency Healing on the Super Power Up podcast, the show that explores the awakening of superpowers through higher dimensional healing.
Hello, this is AngelaMaría, one of the Super Power Up hosts, and you are listening to High Frequency Healing Show. The only difference between where you are to where you want to be is the actions you take here and now to heal your life. Let's take a deep breath and be here and now. I invite you to enjoy this time together. So here we go. Let's welcome today Carolina Yalcin to my show. We will be talking about access consciousness to heal. Carolina is a Colombian industrial engineer. I am so happy to have another Colombian here in my show who reinvents her life every time she changes places. When she moved to the United States, she learned some holistic techniques to be able to use them on her kids. As a curious mom, she tried different options and she got certified on Reiki, Holo-biomagnetism, Dowsing and Access Consciousness. Everything started as a passion and a loving tool for her daughters. But suddenly, it turned into a job that she calls a well-rewarded hobby. Carolina works currently in Atlanta as a holistic therapist, life coach, and access bars facilitator. Carolina loves to travel, learn, and share her learning. Carolina, bienvenida. I'm so happy to have you here in my show.
Angelita, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and your audience. This is an amazing, amazing space for everybody to grow, and I thank you for this.
So let's start, Caro. What's your healing superpower?
Well, my healing superpower is listening without judgment. The most important part for me in the sessions are to listen, and when the person opens up and release tensions, fear, guilt, whatever they have from the past, that itself is super healing moment.
And I just want to affirm that that's your healing superpower. And we are going to talk a little bit more later. But this is what Carolina does when she gets somebody into her office saying, I want a therapy with you. And because she has this beautiful superpower, she's able to tune into the need of that person in front of her. And nowadays, I would say that being able to listen without judgment should be a skill that we need to develop, because that would help us to connect with a more loving world and a more loving experience in this humanity. So thank you so much, Carolina, for tuning into this superpower and being able to take it out of your home and serve the world.
Thank you.
So, Caro, would you please take us back to your early years and name one memorable life lesson that is useful for you today?
I think I don't have one specific lesson. There are many lessons. I would never thought I would end up in this path. But I think trusting life, trusting where life is taking you has been like the whole game-changing. Just every time I change place, every time I move somewhere, my life was upside down, and it just took me to a better place without knowing.
Be open to the flow of life in your own life. That's beautiful. And let me tell you, I work with a lot of people, and that is one of the toughest challenges people face in life. Being able to flow, to go with the flow and see the beauty in every single change That's another big healing superpower, Carolina.
In my life, it is. Let me tell you, it's not that easy, though. I'm not going to tell you that I took it easy from the beginning. I did suffer, cry, got upset, and so on, but I made peace with whatever was happening, and then life showed me that it was for the best. So sometimes life brings you better things than what you thought you could do with your own strategies and with your mental or with whatever you're thinking to do. So
I hold to that, Carol. Exactly. That is exactly what it is. And it would be so cool if our listeners just get this piece of this interview that is just beginning, just this piece, that every single challenge is going to take you to a better place. And if that is your belief, I sign whatever you want me to sign, that is how it's going to unfold that experience. Carol, what has been the biggest change you have had?
The biggest change?
Yes, like when you said that you were moving places, what is the one that you said, oh my God, this is really taking me out of my comfort zone?
Wow, all of them. All of them. The first one was when I moved from Colombia to United States, and I had to learn to be a mom and a wife, and I couldn't work, and I was working in Colombia and then stop and change completely my routines. That was tough, and that's exactly when I started learning Reiki to do for my kids. I didn't know anybody around that could help me with that, so that terrible moment that I was like, oh my goodness, when am I gonna get back my career, that turned to be perfect because I had the time and the motivation to learn something new, something that I loved, but I would never dare to go for it if life didn't take me there. Another big change was when I moved from Minnesota to Atlanta. I cried big time. It was like, no way, my friends, that was terrible for me. And 2 months later, I met Mercedes Guzman. I think you saw her, you had her here once.
Yes.
And it was, my life started unfolding. Unbelievable, to the point that now I have people calling me from different places to do therapies. I'm like, oh my goodness, I never thought I would have this, and this is perfect. I love it. So the worst moments turn to be the biggest blessings.
And it's so beautiful when you are able to see your life like that. So, Carol, where can people go to find out more about you?
Oh, I have a Facebook page with a friend. It's called Fit y Balance, or FITYBALANCE. I do the part of balance, all the personal part, all the emotional, personal growing, and a friend does the fit part. So we're trying to address everything holistic. So it's not just your emotion, it's not just your body, it's not just your awareness, consciousness, it's like everything. So that's the place where you can find me.
Perfect. So we've been talking with Carolina Yalcin, talking about access consciousness to heal. When we come back from this short break, we're going to talk more about her healing superpowers. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you here to change the world? Do you talk about things like vibration, frequency, awakening, and consciousness? Are you pretty sure you have superpowers? The Superpower Net is unlike normal coaching programs and conscious communities. We provide training, intuitive guidance, peer-to-peer learning, intensive one-on-one coaching, and a high vibrational network of people just like you. When you join the net, you get 24/7 access to a collaborative group of people who support you as you master your personal power and unlock your superpowers. If you're ready to use your superpowers to change the world, then join the Superpower Net today. Visit superpowerexperts.com/thenet to learn more.
We're back, and you're listening to High Frequency Healing. Today we are talking with Carolina Yalcin about access consciousness to heal. Caro, was there a burning bush moment that made your heart desire changing your path in life?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Was there a burning bush moment that made your heart desire changing your path in life?
I think it was motherhood. So it's been adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
But motherhood definitely made me change my whole life, my whole way of living, thinking, priorities. And as I mentioned before, and you mentioned in my introduction, it took me to this path. So yeah, I think motherhood has been the one that changed my whole game.
Could you describe a little bit some of the techniques you implement, like Holo-biomagnetism, Dowsing, Access Consciousness?
Sure. Holo-biomagnetism, in Spanish is Holo-biomagnetismo.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically I scan your energy and I see where parts of your body needs to restore the energy flow. So I would put in one part of one end of the path a positive magnet and the other a negative, and that helps to restore the energy flow. And basically what it's doing is your body is the most precious healing machine ever.
Mm-hmm.
But because of our habits or thoughts or emotions, the energy flow is not properly running, and that's when diseases or depressions or emotional situations start happening, or any challenge that you have. So that helps to restore the flow of the energy, and that helps your body to be at the best healing moment.
Mm-hmm.
With dowsing, I use universal pendulum, and basically it's very similar too, but in a different way. The pendulum harmonize your three levels: your physical, your emotional, and your mental level. Sometimes you need extra energy, less energy, so it reads kind of check your body and adjust depending on whatever your body, your system needs. And access consciousness, it has two parts. One is the bars, access bars, and is basically you have 32 points on your head. I place my fingers on top of your head. I touch those 32 points, and what I'm doing is my hands are working as a bar to reconnect the electromagnetic flow that sometimes has been slower, dense, and so on. So pretty much it's kind of when you have your computer with a lot of tabs open.
Mm-hmm.
So it's slower, so it's a reset. And this other part of access consciousness are the verbal tools, and is basically for the person, for all of us, to kind of observe ourselves every single moment of our life and start correcting all those beliefs or the things that we are saying or believing or feeling that creates like blockage in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are those three methods.
Okay, so you I know you just practice all of them, and I also know that because of your intuition, you are able to tune into the energy bodies of the people that go to your office and they require a service. So how do you describe a regular session with you?
Oh, well, okay, yeah. This tuning is very interesting, and I would like to explain that if somebody told me before you need to tune up and listen to the energy and perceive the energy of the person to know what the person needs, I would say you're crazy. Like, seriously, this is the most science fiction thing that you could say. But I developed that. I'm still developing even more, like tuning even more each time. But if I did it, everybody can do it. And that's the goal, that all of us tune and we kind of perceive the other person instead of assuming what I think is happening, because we work mostly from our mind than instead of the energy. And I may see that you have like a happy face, but inside you can be completely broken. Mm-hmm. So what I need is to tune with that broken part instead of just, oh, look, she's happy, she's fine, bye. That's it. So my sessions have the first part. We just sit down and we talk, and that's when I start using my listening without judgment tool. It's not a tool, but that's what I do. Uh-huh. And I start tuning, and it's I'm happy that you mentioned this, because sometimes people come and say like, oh great, no, everything is amazing, I'm good. But then I start feeling that sometimes the person talks about the mom, and I'm like, what happened there? Because I did feel when she said mom, sad or anger or stress. And that's how you start opening up, because we all love to have this mask of everything is great, we're amazing. And sometimes you just need to see exactly what is going on. So I listen, and after listening to the whole story, and I start asking strange questions because it just come to me certain questions. I create a map. I call it a map, which is how many sessions and what type of tools I'm going to use in each session. Mm-hmm. It's a flexible one because sometimes I said, okay, I'm going to do 3 sessions, and with the second one, the person is at the point that I'm hoping for the person to be. So I've said, you don't need to come back unless you want to. And some people said, I want to keep on coming monthly or every 3 months because I just like it. Obviously, the person is welcome to come. And some people just say, thank you, I'll call you if I ever need you again, and I may not see them again ever. So sometimes it's shortened than the map that I gave them at the beginning. Shorter, and sometimes in the last session we find that there's another aspect that we did not see, and it will be interesting to work on. So we just follow the person's development. It's not it's not written in a rock. And then I just do whatever I feel or I perceive the person will need. If it's Holo-biomagnetism or universal pendulum or emotional release or access bars, it's more like an intuitive process. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how we do it.
So, Carolina, would you like to expand information about how access consciousness heals? And I'm not just talking about the technique itself, but how, when you really change the way you see life, and when you really start seeing life as a great experience to learn, and you expand your consciousness, you can start healing yourself.
Yeah, regardless the technique that we use, or either you go to a therapist or not, the way you are perceiving life, the way you perceive life, you perceive your situation, makes a whole difference in the results, in the outcome. Mm-hmm. So that's part of, in the sessions, what we try to do is when the person thinks that everything is so against them, what's going on that inside yourself that is creating that. Mm-hmm. So we try to kind of change the way of perceiving their consciousness and so on. Basically, our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, that's the whole recipe for whatever is happening right now in our life. So the faster you understand the whole thing behind scenes, the faster you're going to heal. the bigger awareness that you have, the faster you're gonna solve whatever is going on in your life.
Thank you, Carolina, for those words. I do believe that when you open yourself to new possibilities, the only thing you're going to find out is that life is just always supporting you and that you're always safe.
Correct.
So how does a high frequency healing process like this take place through your therapies?
Well, basically everything that all techniques, whichever we use, aim to increase your vibrational level. Mm-hmm. If you are vibrating in guilt, sadness, anger, or so on, that's the perfect environment to have emotional unbalance, to have probably disease, illness, whatever. So this whole process is to start releasing all those loads that we all have, so we can vibrate at a higher frequency. And when you are vibrating at a higher frequency, your surrounding is nicer, your body heals faster, and it's like completely a new way of seeing life. But it takes work, personal work, to start changing from a lower vibration to a higher one.
I love that. And you know that I just love how universe is like spreading the message through countries, through times, through limitations, because those are exactly the words that I've been repeating for years to myself first, and then to the people that I have the blessing to guide and to just walk with during this life experience. And it's exactly that. Oh, you would like more happiness in your life. Let's start by breathing in happiness, because we are energy, we are magnets. Whatever you are inside, it's exactly where you attract from the outside. Correct. Oh, you would like more money. What if you start just vibrating in abundance, regardless how much money you have in your bank account? Oh, you would like to have a good lover, a good partner, and have a beautiful marriage. What if you start building that relationship to yourself? And that's when the really healing happens. Because when we talk about healing, high frequency healing, it's not that you need to heal anything but your relationship to yourself. It's the way that you relate to yourself and to the world. That's what needs to be seen. That's what needs to be healed. It's nothing else. It's not about your body. It's not about your emotion. It's not about anything else out there. It's how are you relating yourself to yourself?
Correct.
So thank you so much for reaffirming this, because I think it's important when you listen to the same message through different words, through different people, and through different techniques. Because some people think, oh yes, you say that because you do Reiki. Okay, I do Reiki. I work with Akashic Records. I am a life and life coach and spiritual coach. Carolina does Holo-biomagnetism, Dowsing and Access Consciousness, and we have the same message, because it's not about the tool, it's about the way you are standing up in life towards you.
Correct. And I would like to add that we are extremely fortunate to be living in this moment in life, because everything is accessible. Just getting YouTube, just getting podcasts. We have a lot of information, and whatever resonates with you, go for it. Because all paths take you to the same goal, to increase your vibration, and your path is your own path.
And that's very important. And that's why I love to be the leader for this show, because there is no one technique. There is no the only way to. There are many ways, there are many paths. Which one would you like to take? Which one do you resonate with? Which one do you think you're going to enjoy the most? And that's your path. It's about enjoying this process. How come are you asking me to enjoy if I'm sick? Yes, enjoy this path of how could I just get out of this situation of sickness? How could I get out of this situation of being completely unhappy in my relationship? How could I just get out of this situation of not having money and not having enough? All of these are situations that you need to heal, but to yourself first.
Correct.
So, Caro, I know you have been doing this for a while. You have had the blessing and the opportunity to be in touch with many souls. Could you please share with us one of the most beautiful or powerful processes you have guided?
Sure. I had many. I think I learned with every single person that steps at my office. Like seriously, it's incredible how you learn with everybody. But the biggest, the most shocking in my life has been, I had a lady who came, she had breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And one night I had a dream, and it was a voice that was showing me, like, it was, that lady is not good, that lady has something else. And it was showing me like a mass. And I said, I started talking, I don't know, it was something new to me. And he said, it's this lady. And she called me 2 days later and she said, Carolina, I need to let you know that they found another mass and it's actually stage 4. So it's not a good sign. And I was shaken. I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much. This is impossible. Obviously, she did her whole work, because you never say don't go to the doctor or don't do the traditional medicine, because it is important to in many moments of your life. But we started working, releasing a lot of emotions with Holo-biomagnetism, and I think I also did universal pendulum to her. And then months later, she sent me a text saying that the doctors told her that that was the closest thing to a miracle, that the mass shrunk so much that they cannot explain scientifically. So to me it was the biggest gift, because I doubted. And sometimes I doubt. I have to tell you that sometimes I'm like, can this be true? So those are the little gifts that life gives you, send you to keep on this path, to give more of yourself every time, and don't give up. I could tell her, sorry, I'm not the person for you. But I was like, okay, if she's here, there might be a little part that I can contribute. And I'm not saying that is only because whatever I did is like her whole process, what she did in so many levels. But it was a gift to me, not only to see the happiness to see her recovering, but also the happiness of believing, of understanding that this is real.
Oh, Carolina, there are 2 things that I want to highlight in what you just said. Number 1, and I always say this to the people that I work with, it's not me, it's not AngelaMaría. I am just a channel of a force of the divine fountain, the higher self, the energy, the universe, the God, whatever you want to call it, that just goes through me, and I am the channel. I'm just a tool for that divine force that is going to guide you and is going to light up your path for you to be able to go from one point to another point. That's it.
Exactly.
And it's so important what you just said, because if we take that into account, that it's not me, it's not Carolina, it's not anybody, but we're just channels, the role of the patient, of the client, of the person who is in need or who's looking for X or Y, it's crucial in this process. I would like everybody to read a book that is called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And it's exactly what you said, Caro. It says It is about what you think. It's about the information you put in your subconscious mind, what is really going to happen out there. And you could do it through prayers, you could do it through meditation, you could do it with affirmations. The only thing that you really need is to be convinced that that is how it's going to happen. There are no any other options. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, you know that that's going to be the ending result. And when you do it with that conviction, there is any other option but happening what you are deciding. But you need to trust.
Exactly.
Carol, share with us, please, 2 steps or tips for anyone to start their own healing process.
Well, number 1 for me is meditation. Meditation, not in the way that I thought it was, not that you have to be like a monk in the middle of nature and completely blank your mind. More like 10-15 minutes where you just disconnect to this process of thinking and moving and craziness.
Mm-hmm.
There are many meditations, free meditations online, guided, very easy to follow. And I've noticed that people that start meditating, their process is way faster, way easier. And the beauty of it is that it not only helps you, but it helps the people around you. For instance, we're moms, and we all know that when mom is in a bad mood, then everybody starts also in a bad mood. But when mom is balanced, things start flowing easier. So really, meditation, it's one of the biggest tools that I could recommend. And the other one is to really observe yourself. We all have an inner voice, and our inner voice can be either your best coach that is telling you that you can do it, that go ahead, I understand you're scared, but you can do it, or the most pessimistic friend that you could have, saying that nothing would happen, that everybody betray you or whatever. If you change that inner voice, and we all get super coaches inside, our life could be completely different. It sounds ridiculous, but if you start observing every single day what you're telling yourself, you would be amazed. Like, you would be more gentle with yourself, and your life will be smoother.
And I'm going to tell you, Carol, something that I can say without any doubt, that these 2 tips were my savers. I am in the place I am right now because of meditation and that magical tool that was learning to observe myself. And it was observing my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, my words related to the kind of life that I wanted. And when I start being aware that, oh my God, this is what I want, but my words, my feelings, my thoughts, my actions are against to what I really want. That's why it's not happening. That helped me to be a better person, a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter. I am a better AngelaMaría today than I was 15 years ago when I had no idea about what meditation or self-observation was.
And I bet things are flowing to you way easier than before, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not because life stopped happening. No, life keeps on happening. And sickness, people that get mad at you, difficulties with your family, money situations. Sometimes I am not as happy as I should be. Life keeps on happening. Life keeps coming once and again every single day. But the difference is that now I can stand up and see life coming, and I do not identify with that is coming to me. If it is something good, that's me. But if it is not something that good as I wanted, now I have the ability to stand up, look at that situation with love and wisdom, and just choose to feel differently facing that situation.
Beautiful.
But it happens just because of meditation, and I was open to start observing myself. So thank you so much for these 2 tips. Carolina and I were talking before the interview, and when she said those tips, I was inside, yes, those are my tips. Thank God I'm not the interviewer, because that would be a problem. So thank you. This was awesome. So Carolina, let's remind our listeners where they can go to find out more about you.
Oh, you can follow us in Facebook. Our page is Fit Balance, FITYBALANCE. In Facebook.
Perfect. So thank you, Carolina, for sharing your healing superpower with us today. It has been a pleasure. It has been an honor to have another Colombian woman, super powerful, here in my show.
Thank you. Thank you for this space. We all benefit from everything that you guys are sharing. It's absolutely a blessing for everybody that, all of us that listen to your show. Thank you.
And thank you, all of you, for joining us. I am AngelaMaría, Conscious Creation. Change actions, shift energy to live heaven down here on earth. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Are you ready to discover your superpowers? Go now to superpowerexperts.com and take the Superpower Quiz today.